today Central Standard Time, and it should be 5 minutes past 8 p.m. East African time, and different times for different timelines. Karibuni sana. It's always a pleasure, and I have made great friends here, and let's make sure that today is interactive. Let everybody come here and we share this together. My name is Albert Gidenji, and my purpose in life is to point people to their inherent abilities so that they can awaken to a world of opportunities, then navigate with them a path so that they can realize their utmost potential. Why do I keep saying about people and pointing them to their inherent abilities? Question would be, what is in it for me? What I know is in the whole world, there is enough for everybody. And we operate through what we call frequencies. And everything is connected within everything else. If you said a good cheer, it always boomerangs, comes back to you. You should know this. If you send out something negative, it always comes back to you. I suggest you go positive. Number two, the reason I want to keep empowering people is to use the words of a German poet, very known to Goethe. He said, "Look at a man the way that he is, he becomes worse. Look at him as if he were what could be, he becomes what he should be." People have potential. The one thing they are lacking is somebody to point it to them. Reason being, the whole world, majority of it is basically set negative by default. There is a reason why 96 to 97% of all money being earned in the world is earned by 3% of the world population, and it's not by accident, it's by design. There is something the 3% of the world population know, the 97%, that is the majority, don't have any clue about. You see what I'm saying? So for that reason, you find that 97% of the world population operate on a certain default setting whereby everything is negative. And as the good book says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Because of thinking negative, you keep attracting negative things, and you keep wondering what happened. Earl Nightingale said, "All of us are self-made, but only the successful people will admit it." Successful people are in the 3%. 97% of the world population is on the lower scale, and they complain, they rationalize, they blame everything else on anybody else except the main problem, which is themselves. Okay, hope you're here. If you have happened to see, the topic of today is, I'm trying to, because people have been wondering, are these things for me? You know, manifesting dreams, is it for everybody? And I'm sure people ask, and I'm telling you, the truth is, as long as you're alive, you're breathing, manifesting a dream is yours. If anything, everything you've got right now, you brought it to yourself. You have an opportunity, it was not by accident, you brought it to yourself. Take credit. You have something in your life you don't like, there are no idle thoughts. Thoughts become things. It's as a result of what you are thinking sometimes back. Thoughts become things. Manifesting dreams is for everybody. Which means what? Going forth, you can create the future that you want. Future is in your head. I keep telling people, you don't say, "I'm walking into the future." Future is what you create. Are you ready to create the future that you would want to get into? I can see Mobi Agnes is right here. Karibu sana. Thank you very much for the kind compliments. Let's do this. And Mobi, you might want to share this on your Facebook and make sure that all those Juja people comes here. You know, they have to know that you're a great person. And by the way, this lady is aspiring to be the MCA, and I told her the other day that you take 100%, you miss 100% of the shots that you never take. You will never know if you can be until you take the journey. You understand? And we can become whatever we want. If you want it so bad, it is going to happen. Okay? And I have some points to tell you today. And always, you will see that I always revolve about setting goals, and I revolve about setting big goals. And why I do this is I've been reading a lot, and I've come across people like Michelangelo, who once said that the disaster in life is not because we aim so high and miss. The disaster is because we aim so low and hit, and many of us don't aim at all. It would be disaster if you wake up in the morning to go do something, but you are not sure what you want. Or rather, the same thing, it's you want to have a life, you want to have a future. You don't know what you want. You're getting by. Stop being an animal. Animals live by instincts. They just want to eat and be safe. Two things, nothing else. You cannot afford to be that because you're God's highest creation. You can create the future that you want. Having said that, it is a disaster, one more time, to wake up in the morning every day of your life going somewhere and you don't know where you're going. You see, I keep asking people, if we find you laying bricks on top of the other, and we ask you, what are you doing? And you said, I don't know. You are putting stones on top of the other like this. Looks like it's a house, but you don't know what it is. And we ask you, what are you doing? You say, I don't know. Guess what? We are going to take you to a safe place. It's called a mental institution because you have a problem. Stop going around your life like you don't have a plan. If you don't have a plan, you are messed up. Something is wrong. Now, when I say this, now people take a book and they write everything they want, which is perfect. That's how we start. What do you want? Is it a house? Is it a good car? Is it a good school for your kids? Is it a good vacation place? Is it properties? Is it passive income? Is it different fashion? Is it shopping in Paris? What do you want? Because that's what the universe asks. Bob Proctor tells me, what do you want? Tell me what you want, I'll show you how to get it. Because as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Having said that, now when you are asking for what you want, you cannot bombard your subconscious mind with everything at the same time. Guess what? If you went into a car, Uber, and you have an Uber driver, and the Uber driver asks you, where do you want to go? And you give him half a dozen directions. This way, this way, this way. Guess what? The driver will be hopelessly confused. And if anything, is going to throw you out of the car. You understand what I'm saying? So, as much as you want to achieve things in life, you have to do, there's mathematics we were taught in school. I don't know if anybody knew what the reason was. Some of the things we learn in school, we don't know if they are going to be applicable in life. But eventually you find out, hey, it's applying, man. This is making sense. And there's a mathematics we used to say, find the common denominator. Remember that one? Way back in primary school, I think lower, upper primary, I can't remember very well, but it's something like that. And look at your dreams. What's a common denominator? Isn't it money? Now, this is where, if I had money, my dream number 1, 2, 3, 4, all of them, except a few of them like personal health, like working out, like going to the gym. Jim Rohn said, you cannot hire a person to go to the gym and do push-ups for you. That is yours. It's personal. But except for that one, just about anything else equals to money. You know what I'm saying? And that is why Zig Ziglar says, money is not everything, but it's up there with oxygen. You cannot go from oxygen to so many other things without counting money, because money is not going to solve all your problems. And but it's okay to have the money. I would rather be in problems, if I must, with money than without money. Making sense? So having said that, you have the dreams that you want to achieve. You must go for what I call quantum leap goal. What is a quantum leap goal? It's one single goal that when you achieve this goal, it has started to take care of all the dreams that you've been laying down and writing every time. The vision board that you keep looking equals to money. The dream book that has those cuttings that you've gotten from magazines, which is a very good thing because you have to keep looking at your dreams. All these things, that you keep wanting to see. You have to write them somewhere. The one common denominator is they need money. But the problem I've been having with people is this: they argue with me that when I make money, I will buy. Let me make money first, then I will buy the car. I'll go for and then I'm thinking, you are doing it wrong. No wonder you've been doing that for the last so many years. You've not gotten what you want. You are doing it the reverse way. It's a case of the chicken and egg, which came first. It's like this story of a person who, wanted heat from a stove. And he was telling the stove, give me heat and I'll give you firewood. Which is now the other way around. It should be, give it the firewood, you get the heat. The idea here is, see what you want before you get it. Get there in the mind, the body will follow. Dream and dream big. It takes the same effort. Dream a small dream like it takes to dream a big dream. Pauline, Jerry, how are you doing? This is Mrs. Mungai in the house. Pleasure having you around here. My brother, Ken Kivunaga. How are you doing, man? Long time. You've been quiet on me. Let's take this going. So having said that, dream is dream. You have to dream, and it has to be big. If you love yourself, if you love your family, if you want to create a future for your family, dream big and talk nothing else in your house except big. You understand? There are no idle thoughts. Thoughts become things. If you are here and you have something, you manifested that thing. Doesn't matter where you're coming from, educated or not educated. Actually, dreaming and manifesting is not a respecter of people or money or background or anything. You bring it to yourself. Everybody can. You can rise from ashes to greatness. It is within you. I have known this one, because I know stories of people who've gotten from somewhere. And by the way, it doesn't mean that you have to understand how it works. I have seen people get to big places, become very wealthy, but they did not understand how it works. They only tapped into the universe, whereby they knew, I have to talk big, I have to see my dreams, and I want it so bad. The universe started manifesting it to them. So it doesn't mean that you have to understand everything I'm talking about, but I suggest that you try and understand what I'm talking about, because if you don't, then you're going to call you what I call unconscious competent, which is dangerous again for some reason. And I'll tell you why. Have you ever seen people who are very wealthy, but they cannot tell you exactly the formula they used, to become wealthy? They cannot, they don't know. Which means if it's a wealth that they are creating for their family, one day when they are no more, it means the family cannot continue with the lineage, with making the wealth grow bigger. It goes down because the kids, the people who inherited him or her did not get the formula. So I suggest you understand. And for that reason, that is why we keep coming here every Monday and Friday, and people have been telling me, hey man, we have to get another day, and I'm saying, well, I'll try and see what we can do. But in the meantime, we have Monday and Friday, 8 p.m. East African time, 12 p.m. for now, Central Standard Time, and different times for like Eastern Standard Time should be allowed 11 a.m. And we take 1 hour of working on ourselves, working on putting the right thing in the mind. The most important thing, and actually the fortunate thing for you, is you do this in the evening, and you do this in the evening when you are about to go to sleep. And there's nothing as magical as that. Listening to something positive, listening to somebody tell you your potential, the future is bright when you are going to sleep. You give something positive to your subconscious mind. It works better when you're drowsy and sleepy. So if I were you, I would not watch news when I'm going to sleep. And I want to recognize Ann Mill is watching, and Kamau Turoga. Did I say? Yeah, I can see you're here. Karibuni sana. Okay. Having said that, did you know that there are some laws that the universe operates by? And these laws are what they are. They are laws. Like the law of gravity says what? If you jump out from a high position, you don't go up, you go down. It doesn't matter who you are or you're coming from. It doesn't matter if you are a pastor. It doesn't matter. If you jump from a high point, guess what? You're going down, not up. It's a law. I can see Chep, my friend Purity, you're here. Karibu sana. And having said that, then I want you to understand something. Then we have to understand these laws. Unfortunately, again, I don't know how our education system or the world was rigged. I don't know who rigged it, but some of the laws are not taught in details or if at all in our school education system. And by the have you noticed that our education system tends to treat everybody equally, which is again disaster because we are able differently. I mean, what you can do is a little different from what I can do. We have different passions and we can become, all we need to be is to be cheered on. But when you treat a person who is supposed to be a speaker the same way as a scientist, the same way as a farmer, the same way as a minister of the gospel, then something is amiss. It's like using the words of Albert Einstein, who said, if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will forever live its life thinking it's stupid. We cannot take this one thing and we say all size fits all. I mean, it cannot be like that. That is why I come here and I tell everybody, regardless of what they got in school or they didn't, I tell them they have potential, because that's how it's supposed to be. You are not dropped on this world without a purpose. You know, it would need for you to get education. It's important. But supposing you never got, for strange reasons, is that the end of the world? I mean, you can become what you're destined to become, regardless. Let me use that word of my president. Schools are good. They taught us invaluable knowledge. But they never taught us how to alter our subconscious. They are good. You have very good knowledge. That's why I keep telling people the single most important thing you get out of school is the ability to read. What you become after school depends on what you read and the people you associate with. We were taught very good information in school. Wonderful. Never seen before. I mean, you take 10,000 hours in the higher institutions of learning to assimilate something that can be used in future. But one main component is missing. It's called altering the paradigms, altering the subconscious, changing it from what it is to what's supposed to be. That's why I have seen people with wonderful information in their head, but they have mediocre results. Is it because education is bad? Education is very good, but something was missing for its completion. That's why we are here. We are missing what we call now altering the subconscious. You know, they are deep-seated paradigms in our subconscious mind, and they are continuously giving us the results that we keep getting, even when we have been taught by the best professors around the world and we have knowledge here. You have knowledge that can equal to this one, but the subconscious is giving you this, and you get frustrated. Haven't you seen people with all the education, masters, a PhD, but they cannot even tuck in their shirt? I mean, they talk and they talk smart, but what they say and what they manifest are completely different. Is it they are stupid? No, they are not stupid. They get so frustrated they start abusing alcohol and other drugs. Why? It's frustration. Why? Because they know they are better somewhere. And remember, because we are spirits, our spirit wants to express. They are desperately wanting to express. They have everything it takes. But one major thing that it should be taught in school, nonetheless, is never taught. It's altering the subconscious mind. I have a big team of many people here that I work with, and it's amazing. I don't even have to be there with them. All I have to tell them is they can, and they start working and they get the results. Amazing, man. Before I tell you about that team, let me tell you something before I forget, because I don't want to forget. This is very important. It could be the pivot of your life. Always leave people with a feeling of increase. When you get anybody, when you're leaving them, let them feel like they can become bigger and better. appreciate where they are, but make sure they know that they can become bigger and better. Having said that, I want to tell you what happened with my team. When I got into the team, and that was 2019, I was alone. I came alone. I was invited by a friend of mine for this opportunity, and I decided, wait a minute, I'm doing what? Let me do it. And I had been to 2 other companies with the same kind of model, only a little different. And now we tend to blame those companies because we say they were not paying people very well. But now I think I know better, because there were still people earning a lot of money in those companies, serious money. And so I came here and I decided, wait a minute, we need to do this business. But then I had been reading. Remember, there are no idle thoughts. The moment you pick a book to read, and there should be many books if you want to get ahead in life. I'm reading a book called The Magic, and I have another book called Psycho-Cybernetics, and I have another book called The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz, and I had been reading. Then I had happened to start listening to Bob Proctor, one of the forward runners of personal development, the art of thinking. And he was quoting a lot a guy called Wallace D. Wattles, who wrote a book called The Science of Getting Rich way back in 1900s. And somewhere he said, we don't get rich for doing certain things. We get rich for doing things in a certain way. Then I realized, no wonder some people get the same opportunity, others become so successful, and others are merely surviving. Is that the people who are up there are very clever? No, they are doing the same. By the way, I want you to take note. These are people you wake up in the morning, you meet every day in the same place, and you have your own talk. But they have one small thing they don't. They don't sit down with you to gossip about the other person. They don't do that. If they ever sit down with you, they will listen to you because they give value for every person they see. They give a listening ear, and they project greatness in that person, period. So having known that, I decided to come in and decided to do it different. First of all, I decided to dream big, because it's a decision. Do you want a good life? Do you want to have abundance of money? I decided it has to be me, it has to be big. Did I even tell anybody? Who would understand? Because people are operating on different frequencies, my friend. So because it's my subconscious, I decided the team I'm going to come up with is going to be different. And that went by. And before you know what is happening, we're starting here, and I'm decided I'm going to be giving this company 1 year, only 1 year, and I'll be at the top of the game. That's around September, October of 2019. And we come in, and now we have geared up to run. Guess what? Something called COVID-19, the coronavirus, the pandemic hit. It hit hard, so hard that nothing like this had ever been seen in a long time. Probably in many people's lifetime, they've never seen anything like that. They were told, stay indoors. The government there were curfews, there were lockdowns, and we were told to stay indoors. People panicked. Now I'll tell you something about your subconscious mind. It's not because there are people who now became very poor and depressed during the pandemic. There are others who became wealthy. They are still becoming wealthier. Is it that these people becoming wealthier know something the other people don't? No. They just do things different, because we don't get rich for doing certain things. We get things for doing things in a certain way. First of all, you have to set a big dream. When something like the pandemic hits, you don't change your dream. The strategy will be changed, but not the dream. The dream has to stand. I had aimed to be at the top of this company, leadership and distributorship, by the month of June of 2020, and I was at the top by July the same year. I missed my deadline with 5 days, which means I did not miss anything during pandemic. When you give excuses, when you rationalize, it's disaster. What am I saying? All is not lost. It may feel like so right now. You may feel down, bogged down, things, kids are going back to school, you don't have the cash, all these things. Guys, it may feel like that. Don't dwell on those feelings, because guess what? They are not going to give you anything. If anything, you have worry and doubt, then you have fear, then you have anxiety, you have depression, and you are going to be sick. Instead, now you have to do the other way around. You have to start dreaming, because it's our birthright to manifest what we want. You have the same powers, but with the richest people in the world, to manifest what you want. How do we go about this? Now, listen carefully. The way we go about this is about, by the way, raising our awareness. I can see Justice in the house. Hey, my brother, Patrick Kigera amedunda ndani. Karibu sana, brother. I want to tell you something. And I keep repeating this. Guys, I have to repeat this for you so many times until you're able to say it the way I'm telling you. You're able to say this way, you are going to get the results. Because I can tell you comfortably, seated here, I cannot manifest anything less than $10,000 up 30 days without leaving the door to the house that I am in, my house. I don't have to, because I know what I know now. Now, guess what? I'm going for $50,000 a month without leaving here. What do I do? I give service. What kind of service? I remind people that they are great. People are hungry to be told they are great. When they are great, when they know they are great, they become something. They remember. They come back to be told some more. What I'm saying? It's like a car running and going back to the gas station to be put on some gas, comes back for the gas. Same thing around here. This is my industry. So listen. The world operates on laws. There's a law called the perpetual transmutation of energy. I want you to know the word energy. Then I want you to understand that as a human being, you are God's highest creation. We live simultaneously on 3 different planes. We are spirit with a marvelous might in a physical body. Having said that, one fact, it's a fact, is this. There is an energy or power, call it power, that flows through and into us every time, 100% for everybody. There's power that flows through and into us for every one of you. The same power that flows through Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, the same power that flows through Albert is the same power that's flowing through you.